Public speaking is a skill, not a special ability you're born with. So that means it increases with your proficiency bonus. Welcome to Geek Philosophy, where we love geeky wisdom. My name's Brian, and we publish new videos weekly, so please subscribe and turn on the notifications so you don't miss out on any of our content. Public speaking can be thought of as effective oral communication with an audience. So yes, that means having a microphone and a podium and speaking at a conference, and that's definitely public speaking, and being a member of a featured panel at a convention also qualifies as public speaking. But if you've ever lined up at a convention and asked a question in front of everybody to one of the panelists, you were also speaking publicly. As a matter of fact, public speaking happens every day. Speaking on a conference call, speaking in a meeting, introducing yourself and answering questions during an interview. All of those things are public speaking. Recognizing this will help you hone in on how you're presenting yourself to others and building relationships and just communicating effectively. It's a skill that affects almost every aspect of your life, especially when you're interacting with other people. But it would not be realistic for me to discuss this topic without acknowledging that many people have a fear of public speaking. And if you're one of those people, I get it. I am one of you. But I also know that if you think of public speaking as something you do every day and something that can be improved over time, it is totally possible to minimize or even overcome that fear altogether. And we can leverage D&D to help us. Now, to play D&D, you don't have to speak in character. You can speak in third person and just describe what your character says instead. However, I think if you're using D&D as an opportunity to practice your public speaking skills, you'll get more out of it if you do speak in character as you play the game. But I don't mean speaking in accents or doing voices, really. It's really just speaking in first person, so it makes it a little bit more accessible to improve your public speaking skills outside of the game. Since this isn't an entire course on public speaking, I'm just going to give you a few tips and tricks and let you know how they relate to D&D. First, you need to ask yourself, who is your audience? This means read the situation and try to figure out who are the people there and what are their common characteristics. This happens all the time in D&D. If you're a player, each time you speak with a different NPC, you have to approach things differently. If your character is speaking to the Empress, they will likely have a different approach than talking with the local barkeep. And if you're a DM, turn it around. Your role is the one that's changing. So even though you'll be speaking to the same player characters, you're speaking from a different point of view. If you're speaking as the Empress in that example, then the PCs are now citizens of the Empire. But if you're speaking as that barkeep, the PCs are now customers of your tavern. In either case, you have a bunch of chances of practicing with different types of audiences throughout the whole game. Next, it's important to think about why you're talking. I mean, are you trying to convince someone of something or inspire them to take action? Or maybe you're just trying to educate the group on a certain specific situation. Again, this is perfect for D&D. Are you the party's paladin trying to convince the town guard to follow you into battle? Or maybe you're a bard telling an inspiring tale to the group to lift their spirits. Perhaps you're a wizard explaining a special school of magic to a new spellcaster. With both your audience and your purpose in mind, you also need to have a structure to your message. One easy method is to start with the "let me tell you a story." This totally fits within D&D, by the way. If it was an actual recount of events, the structure can be easy enough to put together. Just make sure that you're focusing on the key points and not adding extra details that are unimportant to the main idea. But you could also make up a story that helps you get the point across. It doesn't have to be something that's true. The basic "something happened to someone" type of structure works really well for this. Okay, finally, another key aspect of public speaking is your delivery. Effective delivery is really kind of half the battle. Sure, this absolutely means speaking clearly and trying to avoid filler words like and like. But one tip that is immediately applicable to D&D is to develop vocal variety. And again, I don't mean doing voices or speaking with accents here. It's actually more important to develop these vocal variety skills first anyway, because you can use them no matter what voice you're trying to do or accent you're trying to have. First, look for areas where you can change the volume of your voice. For example, why are you here? Why are you here? Why are you here? You can also use your voice to express emotional tone. Excitement, sadness, frustration, you get the point. And if you use a single sentence, you can say it in a variety of ways for practice. So, for example, why are you here? Why are you here? Why are you here? Another tool in the toolbox is to speed up the delivery or slow it down. Why are you here? Why are you here? Why are you here? I'm pretty introverted by nature, and the funny thing is, if you spoke with some of the people who know me, they would probably agree with that. But other people who know me would probably say, what? No way, he's giving presentations all the time, he's leading meetings, he's teaching classes and seminars and all kinds of stuff. And all of them would be right. Usually, if it's people I'm already familiar with and a topic that I already know something about, I could speak for hours on end in front of people. The trick is when it is not the case. And that's why D&D has probably had the biggest impact on improving my public speaking skills. From the time I was very young playing this game, I was playing characters who had to convince others and explain detailed situations, and as a DM, I had to improvise conversations with multiple players, sometimes playing multiple roles in the same conversation. So I'm not specifically channeling the voice of some NPC bard when I need to give a speech in front of people, although if I did, it would be Tipsy Pinetops, a recurring bard I created when I was about 13 years old. But playing multiple characters and speaking in multiple roles and doing this even in front of a few people helped me gain the confidence and practice that I needed to improve my public speaking skills. I thought it would be appropriate to wrap up today's video with a classic quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson. All the great speakers were bad speakers at first. Cheers.